Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of At Home with the Willises. I'm Nicci.
And I'm Jameen.
And clearly, today's topic is how I got this. But first, you're at home with the Willises. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. I think it's somewhere down there. And also hit the bell so that you are notified every time we upload new content.
Don't forget about the notifications. The notifications are important. I started seeing it pop up on my phone. And I was like, that's what everybody needs, the notifications.
Don't turn the notifications off. Turn them on, at least for us. That's the most important one. Okay, so let's talk about let's just talk about it.
Top flight security of the world. So, how did we get from flipping houses, selling houses, running a networking community organization to...
And now this. I'm running for Mrs. Nevada America. I'm very excited.
First, you look excited. You seem excited.
I am. I'm excited. It's exciting. The whole process kind of started in November, early November, and so we've been running ever since. But
it's like fun. Being married to it's like Beauty and the Beast, or like I'm married to
Why would you say that?
Like a princess, like I'm watching like a Disney movie. That's kind of my point of view. We'll talk about that later.
That's sweet.
So,
but you're not the Beast though. You're handsome.
That's right.
You my Mr. Henderson. Okay.
Do they have a? We'll talk about that later. They need a men pageant.
They do have men pageants.
I'm not about that life. Actually, I'm cool. I don't want to be.
They do have men pageants. You want to be in a men's pageant?
Nah.
We can get you in there. Okay.
Nah, I'm cool.
So, wait, before we start talking about the pageant and all the things, guys, check out our new mugs.
Wait for me.
Cheers.
Podcast mugs.
Yes. Aren't these cute?
Got the logo.
So, you guys remember Valerie Perier that came on the show a few weeks ago, and all the things that we did the whole holiday decor. She taught us how to decorate and do tablescapes and decorate high and low. I love that.
Yeah. And
she is so super creative, and she gifted these to us. So this is absolutely beautiful. I love this. We didn't have anything, and we were kind of talking about, man, we need something.
We
thought we
did.
were going to do like
I
stickers
had the Dollar Tree mugs. I had the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
You had a little bit nicer, but I had the Dollar Tree.
You did. We didn't have anything as nice as this. So shout out to Valerie Perier of V's Crafting. Look, yeah, this is the box that it came in. Is that not the coolest?
Yeah.
But you can follow her on Instagram at V's Crafting. That's VEES Crafting. So go and follow her right now. She's also a part of the Black Henderson's directory. So if you are part of Black Henderson, just go to blackhendersonnv.com, click on the directory, and you can find her information there. So
we got some dope friends and clients.
We do. I'm telling you, like I love excellence in this type of way, and she is just phenomenal. When I got these, I was just blown away. So thanks, V. Appreciate you.
All right, so we have a new, I'm Biggie Small. See, I got a crown on today.
I didn't even notice that.
See, I did. You had the crown. I got the crown,
I get it.
Don't worry about it. Let's talk about your crown that you're going after. So, me and Jim, mostly Jim, but and the people, we have questions that we want to know about this whole pageant crown and how this whole pageant things works.
Okay.
So tell us about, you got the sash on, Mrs. Henderson. You got the crown already. So tell us about the Mrs. Henderson title and what with this title you're going after exactly.
Okay, so first, the pageant that I'm a part of, this is one of the things I've just learned, is how many pageants there are, how many categories on all the things. So this particular pageant organization is the Mrs. America organization. And how I got this title, you actually begin with a title. And so I'm running for Mrs. Nevada. You start state, and then if you win state, you move on to national. If you win national, obviously you move on to Mrs. World. But this is where you start. And so you get a sash with a really pretty pin and a beautiful tiara. And when I talked to the director, shout out to Jackie McKenna. She's the director of the state of Nevada pageant. She goes, well, what part of town do you live in? I'm like, well, Henderson. And she's like, okay, where else? I'm like, well, so I start telling her where I'm living, and she goes, well, actually, Henderson is actually still available. I said, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because y'all know, we ride with Henderson deep. So that actually worked out, and I ended up meeting up with her and got my crown and my sash. And what I'm able to do now is, I'm able to pick a platform. So I get to pick a platform close to my heart, and the platform is Hope for the City. So Hope for the City seeks to end hunger for people in the Vegas Valley. They also have a portion of their organization called Hope for Kids, and that's what we're running right now during the holiday season, where we are sponsoring 30,000 children right now. I
got 3.
Yeah.
I did my part. You see what I'm saying? 3.
I appreciate you. But that is my platform, and so I'm bringing awareness to Hope for the City and Hope for Kids. I just believe, as far as a platform, I believe, and this is just me, that you should have one that's local and then one that's national. So that's my local platform. And then I'm still thinking about and honestly praying about what my national platform is going to be. So y'all got to stay tuned for that one. But Hope for the City is really, really dear and close to my heart because it actually started during the pandemic. And it was when everything shut down and people were without food. And then that's when you and I jumped in and we started volunteering, and they were having pop-up, what were they called? Pop-up, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, pop-up pantries. I don't want to call them giveaways. But they were pop-up pantries at different schools, elementary schools, casinos, and all. I mean, obviously, because these places were closed. And we were able to lead some of those sites. And that is how I even got involved with Hope for the City. So I've been involved with Hope for the City for, oh my gosh, over 3 years now. And when I decided to go ahead and run for Mrs. Nevada America, it was a no-brainer for me. I had to do that. So shout out to Hope for the City. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put their information in the description in this video so that you can learn more about them. And again, I am raising money to help sponsor children. I'm trying to sponsor 20 children, by the way. So if you want to help me do that, that information is going to be in this video.
Well, we already got 3. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've been raising, so we actually have now 7. So I'm almost halfway there, y'all. And you can help me do that. So I'm going to put that information below.
Okay.
All right.
So growing up, I saw Miss America pageant. So that's basically my limited knowledge. But I got to be honest. The people want to know, is it going to be judged by Donald Trump? Because, growing up, we saw Miss America. We saw Donald Trump over it. I seen him on the TV. Yeah. So the people want to know.
So that's a totally different organization. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that. And that is he does the Miss Universe. That's his organization, or was, but anyway, he was affiliated with that one. So this is a totally different organization. Again, it's the Mrs. America. So no Donald Trump, but the judges are like past pageant queens. Some judges are like TV personalities and fitness gurus and all that. So like pretty high level people that are have great mindsets and all the things. So I kind of like that because I mean we're going, obviously it's a beauty pageant, but you also have to know your stuff.
Okay.
So
that's the next question.
Okay.
Is it just like
these questions? I feel like I'm in the interview process right now.
Do you wear an evening gown? Jen is not mic'd up today. Jen probably got more questions. Jen is. You can just yell them out.
Y'all, she's like off camera, like looking at Jay, like ask the questions. Okay.
So would you have to play the flute? Or are you gonna come with a clarinet? You have a recorder like Andre 3000, or is it just like long gown? Bathing suit.
Jen says I'm gonna juggle.
We already know you can't praise dance. So
that's so funny.
Back in the day, we had a relative that was like, "Oh, you're not the triple threat. You can't praise dance."
I know. She said, "Oh yeah." She was like, well, "You can sing. You can do all this other stuff. You can't praise dance." She was like, "I actually thought you was
the total package."
Yeah, the total package.
The total package.
Okay, so the good thing about this pageant actually is there is no talent.
Okay.
She said being married was a talent, and I said, you know what? Absolutely. Sorry, no offense. But if you married, you know what I mean.
Oh, I thought that was a compliment. This is a dig. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, being married, most of us in the competition have children. That's enough. That's enough. But there are 4 components. So
it's the difference between a talent and a skill. So that's not, I would say that's a skill.
What,
being married, being a parent.
You have to develop skill sets. Yes.
Right.
100%. We can talk about that.
A talent is juggling.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to do a talent. I don't know. Most people probably think that I would sing. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably like do a poem or something.
You only sing for the Lord. You won't even sing for me. I would be want her to like, give me some. I will not. Cater to you. I don't get it.
Oh, you want me to
sing for the
you
Lord?
Want me to sing that?
I'm saying?
No, I'm sorry. You would not see me hula hooping on stage. No.
You can hula hoop for a long time. You could do it.
I can, but no, I'm not doing that.
Nah, don't do that.
Nope. Anyway, so if I were to do a talent, I would probably do some kind of spoken word thing. I think that's what I would do if I were to do a talent. Jen off camera is not impressed.
First of all, you won't even watch not Poetic Justice, but what's the movie with Lorenz Tate and Nia Long?
Love Jones?
Yeah, you just be falling asleep on Love Jones. You be hating on. Oh my God!
I have never gotten through that.
You're not doing spoken word. You're not gonna disrespect.
I think I could though. I can do Phenomenal Woman.
I could do that.
Maya Angelou.
Forget the pageant. I just get up there and do that, and I'll go sit down. Okay. Anyway, so this is a big month.
Oh wait, let me tell the four components.
You're not. I'm the interviewer.
Oh well, I thought you. Okay.
4 components.
Yeah, of the pageant.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's good.
Did you ask about?
Good. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Y'all see what? This is why I can't do a talent right now. Okay. So there is the interview. That's 25%. Then there is like the costume. So we all wear a costume. I'm gonna keep that one a secret.
I didn't know about that. You didn't tell me about a costume. Like you gonna be up there like Catwoman or
no? It's so you have to represent something from the state. So I have to keep it a secret because I'm working on it.
Oh, so like if Ohio would be like a Buckeye.
I would not be a Buckeye, but yes, something like that.
What is this? The Silver State?
So yep, it
Silver
is.
State.
So everybody gets to pick a costume. So it's all about creativity and really how you present in the costume. So how comfortable you look and you know how you work that costume. So that's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for you guys to see that. And then there is obviously the evening gown portion as well. And then it's just overall presence, how you carry yourself. Like I said, interview, costume, evening gown. Oh, there's the swimsuit competition. It is a one piece for the misses. So it's a one piece. Oh, and by the way, I'm Mrs. Henderson. There is a Miss Henderson. The only difference between us is
married, not married.
What
if you're divorced? Can you be?
You have to be, then you're Miss. But you can still do it though, and there's no age limit, which is really cool.
See, this is why men don't have pageants because MRS, MISS, divorce, MR. So to me, it seems like you running for like the mayor or something. Like is it like it's like a campaign right now from the outside? Well, I'm not all the way outside, but I'm I'm not running. But it seems like it's like a campaign. So is there, the question people had was, is there like duties that you have to do like when you're running, or like since you're Mrs. Henderson right now, is it what is it like things that you have to do? Just like when you go to a campaign, you have to go to parades and like for politics is like parades, and you have to go to these different things.
It's quite similar. I would say it's quite similar. I think there is a public portion to the pageant where people can vote on best picture and some other things. And so that comes closer to the pageant. So I'll let you guys know. If you stick with me, I'll let you guys know when that is. And then we can send it to you. We can send you the link. But so there is like a public appearance portion. And honestly, that's one of the biggest parts that I like. I like bringing smiles to people. I like sharing stories. I like hearing people's new, stories. I like meeting new people. And so being able to make appearances, that's one of the things that you they want you to do. They don't necessarily require it. Not until you have the like state title is when they say, okay, you have to make a certain amount of appearances. So you can do as many as you want right now. But I'm really enjoying that because I'm meeting new people and bringing smiles and handing out hugs. And so that's really fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a question that I have. So back in the day, I don't know, I can't remember. I guess it was Miss America, but what's her name? Vanessa Williams?
Yeah.
So she won
Miss America
something,
1984.
but she like got in trouble, and I see like these when they run for a pageant, like so you can't be out here acting like a city girl when you win,
sir.
Or they go strip your crown like back in like Vanessa Williams.
Yes. So the pageant world, if you, I want to make sure I'm being respectful.
No shade on the city girls. I like what's it, Young Miami. I don't know the other one.
I don't know them.
I know really Young Miami, and I don't know the other. I thought it was
Thank you for your respect.
I thought it was like 4 or 5 of them.
We respect all women.
There's only 2 city girls.
That's correct.
I thought it was like 5.
Well, now it's plural. So it's
okay,
fine.
All right.
So, what was your question? Okay. So
you can't be turned up.
You cannot
chasing Usher and Chris.
Well,
Brown.
because so you are representing women. You're representing as Mrs. Henderson right now, and hopefully soon to be Mrs. You're Mrs. Nevada. I'm representing women. I'm representing married women, and so they asked you at the beginning, do you have new photos out there? Mm-hmm. Do you have them? Yes or no?
Because get the iCloud together. You better get the iCloud together.
Which I'm glad I didn't. And I think, okay, pause on what we're talking about. This is why it is so important, young ladies and gentlemen, to be careful about what you post, about what you say. Your brand lives forever. And so me being, 19, 20, 21, 22, obviously I was a mom by then, but
there's ratchet moms out here too, don't
there are ratchet parents. But I had plenty of opportunities to make some really, really bad decisions. So I'm glad I didn't. And if you want to be in any kind of public role or any kind of, be any kind of public figure, be in the public eye, just remember that and don't make bad decisions that are going to come back to haunt you in the long run.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't like. And we're going to talk about, a couple other things.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's best for you to run for things that match your normal life. Yeah. Like when you told me about this, like I didn't even have to think about it. It like before I met you, I would have assumed that you already did. Like it just matches to me, like your personality.
No, this is definitely my first.
So yeah, I think
pageant.
if you need to run things and do things that match your life. But I don't like how like it's like you can't make a mistake or you can't do something and things can be like stripped away. Like I don't like the whole like being under the microscope things. That's why like I wouldn't run for anything. Not that I'm out here just like living a crazy life, but I just like if I can't be myself and do this thing, I don't want to do it.
But I think because we're somewhat out there now. I mean, y'all are here in our kitchen, so we're somewhat out there already.
Right.
So I think there are consequences to your actions, period, and you just always have to remember that, because you can't always, you can't say basically I don't like the consequences of my actions. You can't say that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Now, I'm definitely not for discrimination or racism or anything like that. But if I was like, I'll give you an example. So maybe 2 or maybe 3 years ago, that thing came up about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones. And he was in like a racist thing. It was like a line where they were doing things. And Jerry Jones is like 70, pushing 80 years old right now. Now, I don't support what he was doing at that time, but he may have grown out of racism. So it's like that might have happened when he was 19 and he's 70 something, but now he owns the Dallas Cowboys. He's a person of influence. But when he grew up, maybe he may have, I don't know, but he could have grew up in a racist family or a racist town or even been part of a racist organization. But it's like they dig up something that's 30 years old. And, that's the part that I was saying that I don't like.
Well, I mean, welcome to the world that we live in. Yeah. Because I mean, you look at Kevin Hart, you look at Will Smith, you look at
they brought out some tweets from 5 years ago. Somebody screenshot like this is gonna work out later.
Yeah,
on.
He could not do the Oscars. Was it the Oscars? I believe it was the Oscars. He could not host the Oscars, and he still hasn't been able to, and that's terrible. And he has apologized and all the things. But again, I mean, like I said, you just have to be okay that actions have consequences. So
okay, all right. So next question is, where did this interest in the being in a pageant, this whole program, come from? Because you went corporate life, then entrepreneurship, and now. Where did this come from? Did you always want to be like Princess Tiana growing up?
No.
Or was it like a Disney movie life?
Nope. And actually, come to find out, I am quite the tomboy, actually. So this has been quite interesting.
I wouldn't call you a tomboy. I don't like the tomboy thing. You like simple, but I wouldn't say tomboy.
Okay. I'm very simple. Very just... plain and simple. So,
but then I wouldn't call you simple either. You kind of could be a lot.
That's because I can be a lot. But I'm not usually dressed like this all the time.
Right.
And definitely I'm t-shirt and jeans kind of chick.
I wouldn't call you a tomboy.
But with that, I thought about it when we were still living in Ohio, and a mutual friend of ours, his wife was in pageants. She was a pageant sister. And so we met up, and I just I loved her poise. I love what she believed in. I love how she could take all of that and enhance her beauty and go out and bring smiles to people and help people kind of bring those walls down to be able to listen to what she had to say. And that always stuck with me. Now in Ohio, it just was not the right timing. So I just kind of put it in the back of my mind, and I said, well, you know what? One day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to do it, and I'm going to run, and I'm going to win. And it just so happened that now is the right time. And I feel like you have to be surrounded by the right people. I feel like timing is key, and then you just got to believe in yourself that you're going to do it.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wasn't ever like a childhood dream of mine. It happened really into adulthood.
Mm-hmm. So you're not going to learn how to swallow fire, just to
definitely not.
Okay. All right. So this is the last question is how can people support you running? Is it like a voting system? How can people help from voting, sponsorship? How can people that want to support Mrs. Henderson be Mrs. Nevada?
Okay, so honestly, the easiest way is to follow me on Instagram. That is where the majority of my posts and my videos
I'm going to follow you on Instagram now.
Stop. Follow me on Instagram at Nicci Willis, and that's NICCIWILLIS. Everything will be on there, and my team is helping me get the word out a little bit more. Jen is looking dead at me because she knows I gotta just. It's definitely different. Pageant world is different, and I'm learning that. But it's a challenge, and I love a challenge. So if you want to come along with me on the journey, just follow me on Instagram, Nicci Willis, and you can also DM me if you want to sponsor, if you want to be part of my platforms, all the things. I'm looking for amazing companies and people to partner with, and to help impact the community, help impact my city. So if you want to come along on this journey with me, just send me a DM. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
Oh, and then when you vote, I'll be letting people know when it's time to vote, and that's going to be in May.
So that's one thing that I'm confused about. So is it a public vote, or is it like the judges at the pageant?
The judges are going to pick the winner.
Okay.
But there are also other categories.
People's Choice Award.
Yeah, People's Choice, best, most photogenic, and all that stuff that people can vote for.
Okay.
And I've met a lot of people that said they're going to vote for me. So thanks, y'all.
My jury is still out.
Oh, yeah. What'd you say, Jen?
You also have an event coming up in January that people can come.
Oh, I do. Thanks, Jen. So I do make appearances, and again, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to know what appearances I'm going to be going to. But the one in January is actually the Las Vegas MLK parade. So Mrs. Henderson is going to be in that parade. Hopefully I will see you. Meet me down there. It's going to be January 15th, downtown Las Vegas. But we will make sure that everybody sees that information. So again, follow me on Instagram. We're going to post it. We'll get it up there. And hopefully you'll see me there. And then more appearances are going to be coming. So if you want me to come and make an appearance too at your business, just send me a DM. I'd love to come.
All right. Well, let's get to some of our current events for this week. One of my favorite movies, dang, it seems like this year has been so long, but one of my favorite, well, not one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite movie series was the Creed series. Mm-hmm. So the actor, Jonathan Majors, he kind of played like a bad guy role in this recent Creed movie. So actor Jonathan Majors was found guilty of harassment and assault by charges, a situation that happened with his now ex-girlfriend, because now he's booed up with Megan Good.
Yes. Yeah.
So he was found guilty of harassment and assault from this apparent incident. So I was kind of trying to read through because I just recently saw like video footage that they released.
Yeah, everybody saw the video footage.
Yeah, and so I was confused because it looked like she was chasing him.
Yes, it did.
So if it's like, if I'm assaulting you, you would want to get away from me assaulting you versus
you
chasing
me down the block.
Like, you know what I mean? So I was kind of confused with that. But apparently, I couldn't remember because when it initially happened. So what happened is
it's been a long year for him.
Yeah, something happened, but he actually called 911. And with him calling 911, it kind of sparked the investigation and charges being filed because she passed out or something to that effect.
There's a lot going on.
And so he called 911. And then when the police got called, they said that she had marks and charges were filed and things like that. Yeah. So these charges it's a misdemeanor and carry a violation up to 1 year in prison.
Yeah.
So I read and it said that he probably won't do jail time for this situation, but it's a misdemeanor and it could be up to 1 year in prison.
Well, I think, first of all, domestic violence is nothing to play about. It is, it's just a horrible, horrible, horrible situation, and nobody wins. At the end of the day, nobody wins. It's always, her side, his side, and then the truth. And so I think that a lot of lives have been changed. I mean, he has been like villainized his whole entire career. Not only did Marvel drop him, but his talent manager dropped him. He's got 2 projects that are coming out, or that was supposed to come out this winter. They were like, Jonathan Majors, who? They dropped him.
They pulling posters.
They have pulled
magazines.
Everything from this man. And here's the thing. And again, domestic violence is very serious. And I'm not taking sides on either one, because there's so much information, and I wasn't in that jury, and I wasn't in that courtroom. But you have to listen to both sides, right? And you have to take into consideration that he's a black man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it says he called the police, right? Is that what you read? It says he called the police.
Yeah.
And now he's been found guilty of a misdemeanor. There's video of him being chased, right? Now, there's also marks on her as well. But unfortunately, we live in a world where our black men, they get villainized. And again, though, actions have consequences. You cannot do whatever you want and think that you are not going to have consequences. You can't live any kind of way and think you're not going to have consequences. So it's unfortunate for both of them. Nobody's going to win in this situation. He could appeal this, but at the end of the day, now you're talking about public opinion. Will he ever win again? Probably not. And that's just the fact. That's just the truth.
Well, it depends on
if he wins. Marvel's not going to be like, all right, we just playing. Come on back. No, he's done, because nobody's going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Nobody.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my concern is the disparities in between what happens, because as much as I love this comeback story, Iron Man.
First of all, I don't know if y'all can hear this. Our son is home. He's home. Yes. He's a gamer, and he is screaming his head off right now. And I really want to get into my mode and tell him to be quiet, but I am not, because we are filming and you're in our house.
At home.
Okay. Right. But you are literally at home with the Willises, and I wish my son would be quiet. So I'm going to text him while you talk.
Okay. All right. So here's what I have an issue with, and here's a concern for me. Now, I actually love this story, but Robert Downey Jr., who plays Iron Man, love Marvel Comics. So he got into all kind of trouble, and he has like this great comeback story of being on drugs and going to jail and all this stuff.
Story of redemption.
And Marvel picked him up after that.
Yes, he was Iron Man.
And he was Iron Man, and Iron Man died. He died. Iron Man died. You gotta watch.
I watched it. I got it. Iron Man. Rest
so
in peace. Okay.
That happened to Robert Downey Jr., and they hired him after that. So.
No, Jonathan says he's sorry.
And then everybody forgets about this, and I bring it up all the time. Well, I don't bring it up all the time, but I think about it all the time. What's the TV show? There's two guys, and it's like a little boy, 2.5 Men.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually made a post.
Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen. So I made a post about this. This was going on during the time when Bill Cosby was getting in all this trouble. So Charlie Sheen admitted to having HIV, sleeping with women, drugs, alcohol, unprotected, like all this stuff. And at the time, Bill Cosby hadn't even been found guilty. But it was like they stripped everything away from him. I can't watch the Cosby Show on TV if I wanted to.
Can't find it.
You know, I got to go to the Goodwill and get a box set to watch the Cosby Show. Yeah. So the thing that bothers me is, okay, I get it. If you, Marvel is a brand. Yeah. And if you do something to hurt the brand, they, you know, it's a public opinion thing. They have to cut ties. But to me, there's a big disparity between races. So Jonathan Majors, he could appeal and win.
But it's too late. Yeah. It's over.
But, you know, they already dropped him. They ripping his posters off of Times Square, all this stuff. But then somebody like a Robert Downey Jr. could have a history of doing all this stuff, and then he get hired and be, you know, Iron Man. Or people forget, like, if you look up, his name is actually like Emilio Estevez or something like that. It's been a while. What is it? Yeah. Esteban?
We're not that.
We'll Google it. But the guy formerly known as Charlie Sheen, you know, if you read all the stuff that he did and admitted to, and people just all forget about it. Like, you know.
It's never as major. That's a terrible pun, but it's never as major when it's unfortunate, but we live by a different set of standards, different set of rules. Yeah. And if you have to, thank you, Jen. You have to know that. You have to know that. I mean, it's when, you know, when the thing happened with George Floyd, right? You know, our race, the African American community, Black community, was troubled, deeply troubled by that. I had mentioned a long time ago, and I had posted it. You can go back and watch it because that death was publicized. It was publicized. Anybody can just go out and see it. Jonathan was 9 at the time. He saw that video, and I was in a different setting. Where it wasn't a whole lot of us. And everybody else was just going about their regular day. And we had to deal with talking to Jonathan about what happened, about the fact, and it was then where he was like, this man, he looks like me, right? But it was also like, you know, everybody else was just like, so how's your day going? What'd you eat today? Da 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 da. And it just, when you have to say things like, I was angry because, you know, we have to have the talk with our kids. And the talk has nothing to do with puberty. It's when you go into a grocery store, don't you touch nothing. Don't you look at nothing. If you pick it up, you better be ready to buy it. Don't put your hands in your pockets. Be aware when someone is following you around, because they most likely will. These are the types of talks that we have to have with our children. And you can't live without understanding that. Yeah. Because then you start making decisions thinking that the same rules apply to you, and they don't. So we have Jonathan Majors, and he is now in a world of trouble, and the rules don't apply. The rules that saved other men will not apply to him. And that is unfortunate.
Yeah, this is crazy because although I'm affected by a lot of different situations, I'm a little bit more mindful now because, roll back to a few weeks ago when we had the school shooting, I thought about that, and I thought about how shaken up and how scary of a situation it was. But I also thought about there was a mass shooting in Texas like within 24 hours, but we're desensitized from it. So not that it makes it okay. I think there has to be some type of social responsibility of awareness, because if you aren't Black or if you aren't African American or you aren't a minority, these things don't they don't affect you. Like George Floyd, it's like a school shooting in Texas to somebody that's not a minority or not a Black person. Not to say that it shouldn't be, they shouldn't be sensitive to what happened, but if you really think about it, it doesn't affect them just like it doesn't affect us if it's a shooting in Utah. It's like, oh, that's sad. What are we going to eat for dinner tonight? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't. A
moment of silence is not enough.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that, but
watching this man, because here's the thing: if he truly is innocent, that's the other part. If he truly is innocent and he was telling the truth the whole time, which the way it's unfolding, it definitely appears to be more to the story. Definitely, this man's life is over. Like, you know what I'm saying? It will. I
don't think his life will be. His life won't be over.
It will never be the same.
It ain't like he.
It will never be
somebody,
the same.
Put him in the trunk. So I read the thing. So what happened was they were in a car. They rented a private car, and he was on his phone. She saw something on his phone like
that she didn't like.
Yeah, something did, and she tried to grab his phone. So it's like I'm sitting here texting on my phone, and you look on my phone, you see something that you don't like. So she tried to grab his phone. So that's how she got the marks, because they were like tussling, scuffling over the phone, and that's how this incident, all came about.
Right there,
and started.
If you don't trust the person that you're with, you're not in a relationship. Just thought you should know. There has to be trust in order for there to be a relationship. Period. Okay. That's enough of that. But let's move on, because we've talked this thing to death. Praying for everybody involved, seriously. And you have to understand, there are consequences to your actions. Now, our dog, Nyla, is crying in the background. What an episode this is. Yes? I don't know what we're going to call this one at this point. But let's head over to the real estate minute, shall we?
Yep.
All right. So now it's time for our real estate minute of the day. And this time I want to talk about your real estate team. Now, there are actually 6 people who are a part of your real estate team if you are going to purchase a home. So obviously the first one that we're going to talk about is the real estate agent. So your real estate agent is probably the first person that you're going to contact when you are ready to purchase a home. They're going to help you look for the home. They're going to help you write a contract, do negotiations. They will be with you throughout the entire process. But they will also help you find a loan officer. So your real estate agent should be very connected to all different types of loan officers. And after they've had a conversation with you, they'll be able to kind of point you in a different direction. Maybe you are a first-time home buyer, or maybe you are a VA buyer, or maybe you need a little bit of creative financing. They will point you to that loan officer, who will then help you pre-qualify to purchase your home. Now, remember, you can't go shopping or looking for homes if you don't know what you are pre-qualified for. So the loan officer is going to be your next person on your team. Now, the next person, very important, is going to be your home inspector. Now, this should not be just any kind of Joe Schmo or somebody that has a ruler and a screwdriver. This should be a professional company that is hired by you that will go into the home once you are under contract, and they'll look at everything from the roof all the way down to the foundation, and they will help you to see what is wrong with the property, what's right with the property. They'll also be able to tell you what different appliances are maybe a little bit older and when those appliances will need to be maybe changed out or serviced. Your next person on your team is actually your title company. So the title company, once you go under contract, is the company that actually moves the transaction from acceptance unto closing. So they are very, very important. They're going to help collect the earnest money deposit. They're going to run the preliminary title, make sure there's no liens on the property, all of that good stuff. And so they are also very, very important to communicate with. Your next person is your insurance person. So here's what I always recommend when you're looking at home insurance, which you will need. Go ahead and look at who you already use for your car or for your renter's insurance. Go ahead and start there, because if you're happy with that company, for the most part, once you add the home on there, you can kind of bundle it and you can see if you can get some pretty good deals there. Now, the last person on your home buying team, and I will definitely say the most important, is you. We can't do anything without you. So it's up to you to communicate with your realtor. It's up to you to communicate with your loan officer. Your real estate team is here to serve and to help you, but you are the most important part of this team. So that is your real estate minute. And hopefully that was helpful for you. Go ahead and put it down in the comments below, and also share what was your favorite part of today's episode. All right. I think we are ready to wrap up today. Mrs. Henderson, signing
and
off.
Mr.
Oh, and Mr. Henderson. There we go.
In the
you
background.
Are my Mr. Henderson.
In the background.
Thanks, guys, so much for joining us on this episode. We will see you guys next time.